spend 2 or 3 days without doing something. So when somebody dies, it is constitutional among the Banyankole that you will not do work. It is a chosi, it is the time for not doing work for Okosha for 4 days. Because they did not have refrigeration and so on, they would bury immediately as soon as somebody has died. They would bury immediately. But they would be in a chosi for 4 days without working, without doing anything. Doing the minimum. Being cattle keepers, some people had to go with the cows. But like going to the garden, they wouldn't go for 4 days. So, the Banyankole would be scandalized if they saw us doing what we are doing now in a chosi. They would think that we are witch something. We are witches. To Kungura, we are bringing bad luck to the country. But this is the consequence of copying European things blindly. Like this thing of this election, just copying. I think we should really find a way of sorting it out so that in future we don't have the same madness of somebody is not buried, we are here engaged in elections. So I therefore appeal to you, please don't celebrate now. Don't go and celebrate Anita Among Tayebwa, please. We have done extremuro. This is extremuro. Extremuro is an abomination against our African culture, but following the constitution, which has got some elements of foreignism, but we had to do it because this is in the constitution. And I was talking with the Chief Justice and with the Speaker. You see those wigs they are putting on. Wigs. I really feel embarrassed when I see those people. Why are you putting on a wig? What is it for? Eh? It must be very, you know, I was speaker. You people, you speak about speakers, but I was a speaker myself. For 10 years, from 1986 to 1996, I was the speaker of the NRC. I never put on that wig. Never. I can't put on a wig. I'm not mad. So I was whispering to his lordship, the Chief Justice. Can't we get? I saw in Tanzania. In Tanzania, they have changed. They put on something, but not a wig. But this embarrassment of having to do these things, it shows you the NRM line of always thinking for ourselves and getting our own solutions. Instead of just copying, we can, this is just symbolic. It's not really substantive. It is symbolic, but it shows something deeper that even in more serious things, we need to think for ourselves, to get our own solutions to our problems, because our problems are very different. Although I said I would speak about Right Honorable Olanya later, when the time comes for his body to be here. But yesterday, when I met the members of parliament from Lango, Acholi, and West Nile, they told me something that I had noticed myself. And this was that the late Olanya had followed the NRM line. He was originally in UPC, but he came over to the NRM after carefully assessing, and by listening carefully to the message of the NRM, he went down and actually succeeded in uniting our people in northern Uganda, in those three areas: Lango, Acholi, West Nile. The NRM had, of course, been trying to unite them, but it seems the late Olanya had done it even more deeply than we had done before. This was because of the wrong politics. In 1971, the soldiers from West Nile massacred the soldiers from Acholi and Lango. Confusion, killings, incredible killings. Then in 1979, when we were coming, we had struggled with the UPC people who wanted revenge, to revenge on the Western Islands. And actually they did. When the Tanzanians withdrew, they attacked the villages in Western Island. Western Islands had to go into exile. The 500,000 Western Islands went into exile. They only came back when NRM came and called them back. Then 1985, the Acholi group, Okero and Basilio, turned against the Lango group, the one of Mzeyobote and Ogore and others. Of course, for us, we reject sectarianism. So when we came, we ignored all this, and we told them if you are to blame, you blame the mistake maker, the misleader. You don't blame the misled. So we never blamed the people of course in 1966, there had been a conflict between what they were calling the Northerners and the Bantu, the Southerners. Northerners led by Obote, Onama, and others, and then these Southerners led by Mutesa and Ibinjira and others. That's how they had torn our country apart. Until NRM came and rejected all this. So I really want to salute Olanya, because I heard him speaking many times about this, saying that why has NRM been able to stay in government for, he would recount. We had so many presidents in so many years. We have now had one president for all this time and one political force. Why? There must be a reason. I used to hear him giving that analysis. And apparently, it had good effect, especially when he became vice chairman of the NRM in northern Uganda. And I could see these people were, especially in his last trip, when he went around, it seemed the people were more united. Certainly the members of parliament looked more united. So that's why they were saying we should ring-fence the position of deputy speaker for that area. But when we came in our caucus here, we were able to see that it was not correct to ring-fence this position, because it was different from Iyala, because they were quoting the example of Iyala. Iyala is a number of positions. These are only 2 positions, so you cannot easily ring-fence them. without creating new mistakes. But I want to salute Olanya for this unity among our people in that area. But don't look at yourselves again as Acholi, Lango, Western Nile. Look at yourself as Ugandans. Go beyond that regionalism and look at yourself as Ugandans and as Africans. That's how the NRM has succeeded. But my advice, yesterday when we were screening the candidates, there's one clever member of NRM, a delegate from Kalongo. He's called Amos. He said that, there he is. He said that, he said what I know already, that the MPs are under a lot of pressure from the constituencies, people asking for school fees from them, for burial expenses from them, a lot of pressure. That's why how some of the MPs turn out to be IDPs, internally displaced persons, fearing to go back to the constituency because of the pressures. But this is something we foresaw, and we have been trying to tell the political class all this time, ever since 1995, when, after doing experiments in the area near where I live now, North Ankole and the surrounding areas, I became convinced that we can overcome poverty in the rural areas through persuading everybody to go from teach, me each keken, what we call in Rugwere, okore chida chonka, and working for the stomach, but also the pocket. It is doable because we have done it. In 1966, we started as a student movement in that area, North Ankole, and some of the people thought we were mad. But we said, no, this Banyankole can change if you show them how to. And we were interrupted by Idi Amin, but later on when we came back, we resumed, and they have changed. They have income, those people, especially from dairy. Some of the Banyankole have income from bananas. Banana became a cash crop. Others from coffee and others from tea. Some of the areas which have milk, tea, commercial bananas, and coffee, people have incomes. In some of the other areas like Bundubujo also, they have income. That area of Bundubujo is actually quite prosperous. Even the area of Masaka has come up a bit with coffee and so on and so forth. And Kalangara came up recently with palm oil. Therefore, you should take, in order to save yourselves economically, emotionally, not to be so much stressed by supporters who beg from you, but also politically. Listen carefully to our message. The parish development model, if you work with us and we implement it, will change the people in your area. Instead of being people who are begging from you, they will actually contribute to you. The other day, Her Excellency, the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, went to Chulhura area. I don't know whether she's still here or has she left. Oh, she's there. She's there. She was invited by women to Chulhura. And they gave her cows. She was given cows. So when she came back, I said, you have been MP for Katakwi for more than 10 years. Have you ever got a cow? She said no. They had given her some hens and some turkeys. But she had never got a cow. But she went there, they have seen they gave her cows. This is because they have something. They have got something. Whenever I go for campaigns in the cattle corridor, the other time they gave me 800 cows. I took them into the government ranch. So, to solve the problem, not just of not being harassed by your constituents, but to change our society, please listen carefully to the programs of the 4 sectors: commercial agriculture on a smaller scale, intensive agriculture versus extensive agriculture if you have got big land. That's one sector where you will get solutions. The models are there. Then the myoga. Some of the myoga are in the small industries, some are in the services, plus industries, big and small. Then services general, transport, hospitality, and so on. And then finally, ICT. Dr. Walimus and his group are working very hard on that sector. The pressure you have from school fees, the problem comes from the elite not listening to the NRM line. In 1996, we introduced free education. But because of indiscipline in budgeting, UPE did not become free and compulsory education, which it should have been. You still have people collecting money, teachers, what? If there is free education, and we budget for it, and we cut out all these other things you keep people bringing, cities, new districts, what? The children of the poor will study free, and they will not bother you. They will not bother you because they will be catered for. So therefore, honorable members, whether you are opposition or NRM, you should know that in order to succeed, you must work for the people. And we have shown you how that can be done, but people keep meandering and going to other areas, and that's how you get some of these unnecessary pressures. I would like to warn people who are in the habit of taking advantage of problems to make cheap politics. And actually we are going to go for them, because I have heard some people saying that, oh, some people killed Olanya. Olanya was killed. The police are going to come and say, okay, you tell us, you seem to have some information. Oh yes, because if you say because Olanya did not die in a private home. He died in a highly reputable hospital. And before that, he was in another big hospital in Dubai. And before that, he was in our hospitals here, including the Cancer Institute. Everything is there. I did not know that Olanya was sick until when he went to Dubai. That's when and he went with our doctors. That's when I checked and I knew what the problems were. From that time, I started to know what the problem was. So, for somebody, especially somebody who is educated and who is supposed to be like a leader, to go and say, you must come and help the police, because you seem to know what we don't know. Come and tell us. So when you hear the police, don't say, how are things? Because we cannot go on with this indiscipline. It is not constructive at all. So I want to thank the Parliament. You have sat here. We have sat here for the whole day in big numbers. I congratulate the NRM and allied groups. Since there are some allied groups. Who have worked together. But I also congratulate the other group, the 66. Also thank you for sitting properly and behaving properly. You can see there's no tear gas here. Now, is it, I would have asked the speaker to say, is it, but I don't think I have that right, to say, is it in order for some people, because I heard in the morning somebody who is on my way when I'm going to Gomba, to Kisozi, from Butambara. He was saying that there is a camera. Where is the camera exactly? They are talking about that vehicle. This is the one you call camera. Where is the camera you are talking about? This one here. Me, I'm camera.
Honorable members, let's listen.
You can hear that some of these people need some attention. Which camera were they talking about? If you are talking about that vehicle, that one is not a camera. That is something else. That is something else for our security here. So I am very glad the Honorable Basarwa said that this one has been a very good election. It has been done properly. Others are not done properly. But the 300 or so MPs who are here, they come through an election. Those who say NRM has cheated, how can you cheat and you have more than 300 or almost 400 MPs in the parliament? These are the ones who are voting now. So I thank everybody, but please, most importantly, let us get poverty out of our villages. This is the most important, and it's not a party issue, it is a destiny issue. Thank you very much. I wish you good luck.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that wise advice. Members, we are When the president is leaving, we'll let him go first, then we'll join after he has left. We are going to adjourn the House to Tuesday, 29:32 p.m.
Anthems.